If you like banana bread, you'll really like this recipe from King Arthur's Whole Grain Baking Book. And if you like the idea of incorporating more whole grains into your diet in an enjoyable way, then you'll love this banana bread. You get the best of both worlds, flavor and health, with this recipe. And except for the darker, richer color of the bread, I don't think you'd even guess it's made with 100% whole grain flour. Compared to most bread recipes, this one's a cinch. The first thing you want to do is grease a standard 9 by 5 inch loaf pan. And preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Now you want to beat together the butter, sugar, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla until smooth. So that's 4 ounces of butter, which is typically 1 stick of butter, 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar, 3/4 teaspoons baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And then 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so we'll beat that together until it's smooth. It only takes about 30 seconds or so. And now the recipe calls for 1/4 cup of honey, but I'm going to use 1/4 cup of organic cane sugar. And 2 large eggs, and the all-important ingredient, the bananas. So let's talk about bananas for a second. Okay, now we want to add 12 ounces of mashed bananas. And since bananas are the star ingredient, we want to make sure that they're just right. For banana bread, you want them to be ultra ripe, sort of over the top. These bananas are just about right for eating, and these bananas are mottled black, really soft, super sweet, and perfect for banana bread. So we'll use those, and what I'm going to do is weigh out 12 ounces. And it typically takes about 4 normal-sized bananas to make 12 ounces. 11.55 ounces. So let's mash those up with a fork. And if you don't have a scale, 12 ounces of mashed bananas is equivalent of about 1.5 cups. And this doesn't even look to be 1.5 cups. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this banana, this last one, since it's probably not going to get used for anything else. And maybe I'll have more than 12 ounces, but it'll be closer to 1.5 cups. Okay, yep, 1.5 cups. So and we'll add that to our concoction. And beat that until smooth. That's pretty smooth. And that took probably about 30 seconds. Now you want to add 2 cups of whole wheat flour. Now the recipe calls for 8 ounces of whole wheat flour, but I find that 2 cups of whole wheat flour is closer to 10 ounces. So I just measured it out by volume instead of weight. And now you want to add your 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts the recipe calls for. These happen to be pecans. And you want to just mix that together. You don't want to beat it, so put it on slow. Okay, that was maybe another ½ minute or minute of mixing. And now all you want to do is pour this into your greased bread pan. And then just kind of smooth out the top a little bit. Okay, now you want to just let it rest for 10 minutes uncovered on the counter at room temperature before placing in the oven. And after the 10-minute rest, it's into the 350-degree oven for 50 minutes. And after 50 minutes, what you want to do is tent it for the last 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of baking with a piece of foil. So just put a piece of foil over it like this and let it bake for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes since I tented it, and I'm going to test it to see how it's done. So it's been about 60 minutes total since I put it in. And I'm going to do the toothpick test to see if it comes out clean. And it's coming out clean, so it's done. This is a really simple recipe, and it's hard to mess up, but the only thing that I've done before that wasn't to my satisfaction was I overbaked it, so that's why I check it a little bit early. You want to let the pan cool for 10 minutes before turning it out on a rack to cool completely. There it is, moist and delicious. Yum. For more bread baking videos and recipes, visit breadtopia.com.